Do you realize they tried to divide us on every level, from physical to mental to spiritual, even trying to divide you against your own husbands and wives? How are you guys doing? Welcome to the channel Model Renaissance Man. I am Ty Smith. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to view my content. Make sure that you are following me on all the platforms you see above and below, and hitting this like button right here is how my content can consistently be recommended to you, ladies and gentlemen. When you subscribe to the channel, make sure that that bell notification is clicked. That way you will be notified whenever I do a video, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we got to talk about this because this is something that is absolutely 100% a way for you to see exactly what happened in these past 4 years. When I got invited to the White House, I got to sit down, me and amongst other folks, and we got to sit and talk with President Trump. I remember everything that President Trump, not everything, that's kind of less a figure of speech, but a lot of things that President Trump really had us hone in and focus on is what would happen if he did not make it into the president seat again. And we know that he did not make it in 2020. The things that President Trump said would happen did indeed happen. He said there were going to be wars. He said that we would experience some of the greatest division in America that we've ever seen, and it would be blamed on him. He said that our borders would be open. He said gas prices would be high. He said the food prices were going to go high. He said that the homes would be hard to buy because they were going to skyrocket in price because the price of lumber would go up. He said all these different things like this, and they did happen. The Democratic Party sowed so much division that a lot of people refuse to see it. Before I get too deep into it, check this out.
2024 presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, you, sir, were not wrong. You were predicting this victory by this margin. And you even brought up, and I had brought it up on my radio show a number of times, the idea of him winning the popular vote, which happened as well.
Exactly. And I think it's from traveling this country, Sean. We get out of the echo chambers on the internet and just talk to people from Pennsylvania to Iowa to the west coast of Nevada. We found that most Americans share the same common values. It was a beautiful thing to watch last night. And I think there's going to be a couple good things to come out of it. Number one is I think we're going to see a resurgence of national unity. Young people coming along in droves for Republicans. This is a new coalition. This is a new Republican Party. This is a new country. The other positive thing as a result of that, I think we're going to see, Sean, is a Democratic Party that at least finds its way back to sanity. One of two things is going to happen. Either the Democratic Party is going to have to let go of the crazies on the progressive left and find its North Star again, or else the Democratic Party is dead. And either way, that's a good win for the country. So we're still learning a lot from those election results. But the number one learning is there is a new coalition. We're united, and there's unity to save this country. And I'm excited that we're going to be a part of it.
Isn't it really, and I've been saying this for some time, that the Democratic Party has become the party of coastal elites? I mean, you have these last-minute ads. Julia Roberts, tell your husband you're voting for Trump, but you can go in and nobody will know how you really vote. You can then come out and lie to your husband. Did you vote the right way, honey? Yes, I did. And, you know, you could be a real man and tell your bro friends that you voted for Trump and you really voted for Kamala. If you have to hide, if you have to pretend that you don't want to tell your friends who you really voted for, maybe that's not the right person to be voting for.
Well, the reality is this is just the politics of division that the Democrats have been perpetuating for a really long time. It started with identity politics based on race, then gender, then sexuality. Now division, even trying to sow that within the family, within married members of the same household relationship, and it didn't work. So I think the beautiful thing about this, Sean, is now that we've defeated Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and that Democratic machine, we don't have to worry about them and their hypocrisies. Now we can move forward and say we're not just running from something. We're now running to something. I like Donald Trump's message in the closing speech last night, celebration victory party at 2:33 a.m. yesterday. What did he have to say is we're entering a new golden age in America. And I think this is the opportunity we now have. The other side has been so thoroughly defeated that they're going to have to go figure out who they are and what they stand for. That's not our job. Our job is to now revive this country for all Americans. And I think Donald Trump's going to be able to do it by uniting people through success. It was a beautiful message.
You've been a successful businessman, and you've been out on the campaign trail. Would you be willing to give up that successful career and go into the president's cabinet if asked?
Look, I've lived the American dream, Sean. I'm doing this now for my kids and their generation. It's why I stepped into this sphere last year when I ran for president. I want to serve this country in the biggest way I possibly can. And because Donald Trump delivered that decisive victory, he's also assembled this coalition of outsiders and independent thinkers. And I think because of that victory, we're going to have some big ways to change the country. Whatever role I can play, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, whatever role I can play, is that a yes? That you'd leave the private sector?
I'm excited to serve the country, Sean, in a big way. And I'll tell you this, once we make some decisions, we got some great paths ahead.
You're giving me a
You'll be the first to know.
politician's answer. I know you well enough now. Would you be willing to serve in the cabinet? Why are you making me do this again?
I'll be willing to serve this country in a big way. I promise you that, Sean. Thank you.
I know. I believe you. All right.
Now, you just heard what he just got done saying. For them to try to have, you know that you're desperate when you have to have celebrities try to come against you to the extent to where they wanted wives and girlfriends to go against their own boyfriends and husbands behind their back to try to vote for Kamala. When somebody really try to get you to do something, it makes you feel uncomfortable, don't it? When you go looking for a car, y'all remember those days? You go and look for a car. Tell me if I'm wrong on this. I have 7. When I go and look for a car, I don't want to be bothered by anybody. I already know what I'm looking for, what color I want, the style I want, the features that I want. I already know that. So when I'm out and I'm looking for, I don't want to be bothered by anybody who's going to try to coerce me into actually looking for something and trying to buy something and get something that I do not want. What am I saying that for? I told y'all something was up with the American people in the sense that people are like, I don't know if I'm not with all this crap that's going on. Look at the division they tried to sow. Americans against Americans, black against whites, men against women, trans against straight, straight against trans, trans against women. I mean, men and women's bathroom. They tried the division all the way to the extent of even spirituality. Yes, they came for the Christians. Look what happened. Somebody just simply said Jesus is Lord and Christ is King. And look what happened. Look what happened to my sister Candace Owens. Look what happened to her. Look what happened during the Fauci, Ouchie, Hokey Pokey, Clot Shot era, where they were shutting down churches, but they allowed strip clubs and things like that to stay open. Look at the division they sown to where they got a lot of you Americans to attempt to throw shade at me. It was an attempt. The only reason why I call it an attempt because you knew that it was not successful. Because I didn't want to get the Fauci, Ouchie, Hokey Pokey, Clot Shot. You guys were going crazy. Ty, so you telling me everybody's going to get it except for you? I didn't get it, did I? I continued to stream. I brought out everything. I even had to go back against you guys, the YT, YouTube, and get my stuff reinstated because nobody can sit there. I showed my medical license and they had what? When they showed theirs, what? Who in there can debunk what I'm saying? Put my stuff back up. I'm showing you guys what the box is saying. My point is, they got you guys to jump on this psyops to where y'all were literally going crazy if somebody sneezed. They got y'all to buy tissue when the Fauci, Ouchie, Hokey Pokey, Clot Shot era had nothing to do with it, but you did it anyway. Look what happened. So now, we're going to be approaching the era, as they mentioned, that we're going to be considering the golden era that I think, whether you hate Trump or whether you love Trump, it does not matter. Because I told you, you have to look at it as a father. My kids, I know raising my sons, I know my sons did not always like me, but it did not matter. I wasn't worried about their feelings. I wasn't caring whether they were going to like me or not at that time because I knew that what I was doing for them was going to be the best for them and in their best interest and for their future, even if there are things they didn't understand. I'm going to give y'all a small example. Daddy, I can go across the street. No, you can't, son. I can't go. No, you can't, son. You have to learn how to cross the street first. All I got to do is just run over there. See, the way that this administration was being ran, they would tell you, yes, you can. You sure can. The truth is you couldn't because there was too many dangers. You have to learn how to cross the street first. You just want to run out there. It's a 6-lane highway and you just want to run out there. This administration said, go ahead and run. Now I'm saying it from a metaphorical level and you ran out there and look at you now. You distraught, you beat up, you can't understand what's going on. Y'all having completely mental meltdowns right now. And don't worry, you should be pissed off because they deceived a lot of you into this game. They messed with your mind. And now you're going to see as the truth comes out, that party, not everybody in the Democratic Party, not all of them, but the whole overall system from mainstream media, the propaganda, the sensationalism, it completely messed a lot of you up. And don't worry, we're going to be here to help y'all out. I'm always here to help, even when this stuff was going on. But I tell you what, for some of you that was hardcore, I'm not talking about the ones who were misled, deceived, naive to it. I'm talking about you that was so sure and so sure. I'm going to continue to pour salt in those wounds. I'm going to continue to scrub. I'm scrubbing it with a hard bristle brush. I hope it hurts. I hope it burns. I hope it stings. I hope that you got to sit there, do everything you can not to scream because it's burning so bad. Feel it. Anyway, folks, let me know what you guys all think about this. Vivek Ramaswamy kind of threw some hints in there. He's going to be on board. You know he's going to be on board. You know he is. But what are y'all thoughts are on this? Whatever the case may be, let's see them in the comments after this. Do not forget to do what you see in the cloud right here, if you would, please. The next video that I would do in chronological order is going to be up here. Things that I do as a variety on this channel will be down here. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.